If you need any My Team grinds in any mode, hit up my boy Witty for safe, reliable, and the cheapest grinding services around. Hit him up on Twitter. You won't be disappointed. Yo, what is good, YouTuber? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be going through and ranking every single radioactive card from worst to best here in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, we're going to hop into it. We got 25 cards, so we're going to try to knock it out pretty quickly. Definitely not going to spend a lot of time focused on these lower overall cards. I think the worst card in this drop is Derek Fisher, personally. I just don't think he's very good. He's slow, he's short, and he's not a good defender, and he also can't dunk. His jumper isn't great. He is extremely mediocre, and I think he's probably the worst card in the drop. Second worst is Vernon Maxwell, who's not totally atrocious, but isn't really a good dunker, has no Hoff badges at all, just doesn't look particularly good. He's also a 6'4" shooting guard. Definitely a pretty bad card as well. Next up is Deuce McBride, who's a great player in real life and has pretty good stats and badges, but only a 75 driving dunk. He's also 6'1" at the point guard position, so he's extremely small. And I just don't think that low strength as well, especially at 6'1", is really going to cut it at this point. Not that he's an atrocious card. He's definitely better than the other two, but I still don't think he's all that great. Next up is Anthony Simons, who, I mean, just has no defense at all. That's the problem with this card. His jumper's awesome. He's great slasher. He's very fun on the offensive end of the court, but no defense whatsoever is going to kill that Anthony Simons card. Next up, you got Amethyst Aaron Wiggins, who's a really good player in her life. Has been having a good year for the Thunder. 90 speed, 95 three ball is a lot to like. He's an elite level shooter. He's got good slashing and solid defense. Overall, that is a pretty solid, pretty well-rounded card in my personal opinion. Definitely can't be mad about that Aaron Wiggins card at all. He looks pretty solid, but not too bad. I'm not too elite either. Justin Edwards, similar story. Well-rounded all-around card, good shooter, good slasher, good speed, good defense. Another really well-rounded card, 6'7" at the 2 with a 6'10" wingspan. Looks like another really, really nice option. Definitely think he could be an extremely usable card at the shooting guard position as well, especially for like salary cap. Next up, you got Jalen Tyson, who has a nice jump shot, good speed, good shooting, solid slashing, good defense, very well-rounded in terms of badges. 36 total badges as a base card is really, really nice. He's another card who looks super duper solid as like a salary cap option, who's going to be able to hold it down at a high level. Definitely pretty intrigued by this Jalen Tyson card as well. Next up, who is after Tyson? Taco Fall. Look, I'm excited to do a gameplay with him. I think he's going to be a pain in the butt to stop on the interior, but he's 39 speed, 33. It's just not cutting it. I understand he's 7'5" with an 8'2" wingspan, the biggest player build in the game. He's basically Yao Ming, but Yao Ming has 70 speed and 73. Taco has 39 speed and 33. Not doing it, plain and simple. I know he's going to be glitchy. I'm sure he'll get a Dark Matter 100 overall card at some point that will be absolutely broken here in a couple months. But as of right now, this card is not that good. Next up, Diamond Thurl Bailey, who, I mean, is solid. He's 6'11" at small forward with 7' wingspan, has good good size, really solid, well-rounded defense, 95 driving dunk, 90 speed. Only an 83 ball, though, in the jumper. I mean, Horford Bay upper isn't great. It's not an awesome jump shot. He's got no movement whatsoever. He's a good defender. He's got good stats and badges. Like, he's a pretty good card, no doubt about it. But I'm not going to sit here and act like he is an insane card either. Next up is Billy Owens. Similar story, elite level size, but I wouldn't say overall he's an elite level card. He's not an elite shooter. He's a little bit on the slower end at the shooting guard position. He's not an exceptional slasher. He's a solid card with elite size at shooting guard. I actually did a gameplay with this card as a hidden gem earlier this year. The jumper's not bad. Overall, very solid card, but I'm not going to sit here and act like he is insanely OP or anything like that at the shooting guard position. He's just a very solid option in my team. So I think that's a pretty good spot for Billy Owens on this list. Next up, oh, that's DeLon Wright. I couldn't read my handwriting for a second. DeLon Wright, 6'5" PG with a 6'7" wingspan. This card looks really good on paper. 93 speed, really nice defensive point guard with good size, 85 driving dunk, 87 three ball. Very well-rounded tall point guard with even good zigs like De'Aaron Fox Escape, his own release on quick. This card could be an absolute budget beast. Salary cap card, just like a I just started my team type card as well. Overall, it could be a really, really good all-around card. I'm excited to try him out in my team because I think he's got the potential as well to be extremely good. So definitely a good looking card right there. And in DeLon Wright, Tumani Kamara is the same story as an Amethyst. Extremely well-rounded card for an Amethyst. He's also got good size at shooting guard, 6'7" with a 7' wingspan, good slasher, elite defender, and I mean elite for an Amethyst. And his jumper is also super smooth. I've used the shot. I know it's good. I think he's going to be a beast as well. Definitely another card who I am very intrigued by. After that is Tyson Chandler, who's awesome.
people are sleeping on this card. I know he only has a 62 3-ball. He's got the exact same release that PJ Brown has. He's 7 foot with a 7'3" wingspan, a big player build. If you put set shot specialist on him, he'll be decently knocked down when he's wide open. He's exceptional defensively and exceptional around the rim. I hope he gets like a Galaxy Opal card at some point, because if he does, he will be extremely good at that point. Definitely has the potential to be an extremely high level card here in my team. Tyson Chandler looking like another really, really good card for a diamond anyway. Matt Barnes is the second of the pink diamonds after Taco. He's the first really good pink diamond. He's got good speed. He's a great shooter. His jumper's smooth. He's a high level defender. Just an awesome 3-and-D card. Your typical baseline high level 3-and-D option. We got a lot of them at the shooting guard position. Matt Barnes gives you another really good one. Next up is Galaxy Opal Bradley Beal, who I don't think is insane by any means, but he's 6'4" at point guard. He's got really nice stats and badges, especially offensively. He's a solid slasher, elite shooter. Jumper's nice. Doesn't have liability size by any means. His jumper's pretty good. Like, he's not insane as a shot creator by any means. He's not a total glitch of a card or anything like that, but I definitely think he's going to be a pretty good option. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like this Beal card is not a bad I'm not going to sit here and act like he's a bad card at all, because he's certainly not. Next up is Agent Zero, who's I think just slightly better than Beal, mainly because he's a little more versatile defensively. He's also got a +10 driving dunk. Beal's jumper might actually be a little better, but Gilbert will hold it down a little better defensively and is going to be a little more complete, a little bit better of a slasher, and his jumper is still on very quick as well. Another guy who could be a really, really nice card. So another card that I'm definitely intrigued by at the point guard position as a solid budget option. Next up is Wesley Person, another really good pink diamond small forward. Not amazing defensively, but good shooter, good speed, really good shooter actually, great shooting badges. 85 driving dunk as well. I feel like his jumper is going to be pretty good. Mikal base is pretty good, and Oscar upper is really good, so he's going to have a great jump shot, D-book dribble style as well is super nice, and basic fade is also super nice. That's a really good offensive shooting guard option. Maybe I have him 1 or 2 spots too high, maybe, depending on how much you value the offense, but overall he looks like a really, really good card. Next up is Asar Thompson, who is absolutely awesome. We talked 3-and-D, try Duncan D with 98 speed at 6'6", 6'10" wingspan at the shooting guard position. His player build's big. This card's really good. Defensively, he's awesome. Offensively, he's pretty good as well. 83 ball is gonna be the biggest flaw in the card, but the jumper's on quick. I think he's gonna be pretty good. We'll see how the jumper is. If the jumper's bad, I haven't used him yet. But if the jumper's bad, that will knock him down a couple spots in this list. But as is, assuming the jumper's good, he's so good athletically and defensively, where I think it makes him a very, very high level card. Next up is another shooting guard, and RJ Barrett, who's also really good. 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan. Amazing stat completeness and badge completeness for an Opal. Really kind of does everything on the court well. Another really well-rounded, usable option at the shooting guard position with a nice smooth jumper. Pro dribble style Luka escape is not bad. Overall, very solid card. RJ Barrett looks like another really nice option. Next up, first Dark Matter, J.R. Smith. I don't think this card's very good for a Dark Matter. 6'6" with 6'10" wingspan. Look, the stats and badges are awesome. Problem with the card is the jumper is not, and neither is the movement besides D-book dribble style. Levine escape isn't very good. Kobe's behind the back, not very good. And the release, I don't think it's that great even on very quick. I just don't like JR's upper at all. And his fade isn't really a high level fade either. Pro 3 fade is not an elite level fade. He's a very good card stat and badge wise, but I think the animations hold him back a little bit, which is why I put him this low on the list, although it's not extremely obscenely low or anything like that. Next up is the last of the pink diamonds, Jonathan Bender. This card is really good. He's a 7-foot small forward with a 7'4" wingspan and an absolutely butter jump shot to go with that offset shot specialist. Really, really good looking card. And he's solid defensively too. Nice and well rounded. Look, I get the stats and badges don't jump off the page at you, but his jumper's awesome and he's a 7-foot small forward. That is extremely valuable. Really, really high level card. I do think he is actually a top 5 card in this drop. At the number 4 spot is going to be Galaxy Opal Kyle Korver. 90 speed, 93 agility, 99 3-ball. They gave him more speed and defense and a little bit of dunking and stuff as well, which is super nice. And the defensive badges are actually very good. But the thing that makes Korver great is that his jumper is one of the best in the game, and it's extremely easy to green. He has gravity like Steph in real life in terms of people are just not going to want to let him shoot at all. It's going to open up the floor for everybody else. He's an elite spacer. He's got a high level fade, and he's a really good defensive shooting guard as well. He is awesome. Definitely, in my opinion, the best of the Opal and below cards from today's drop. Number 3 is Sean Kemp. 6'10", small forward, 7'1" wingspan, really nice stats. I like that he's got Hoff Deadeye, Limitless, and Set Shot. Didn't expect him to get those on Hoff, but he did, which is a W. Playmaking badges are decent. Defense and finishing is elite. 99 standing and driving dunk, of course. High level post game, extremely fast for his size. As a 6'10" small forward with a 7'1" wingspan. He's going to stretch the floor at a high level. Length for base is good, and Malachi Flynn upper is also super nice. Now, the SIGs themselves still aren't top tier, but as a whole, he looks like a really, really good card in my team. So that's another card that I'm definitely very interested in. mid. Number 2 is Ron Artest, also 6'7" with 6'11" wingspan. Just everything about the card at the shooting guard position is exceptional. Now 2K did change his jump shot. It's Markelle Fultz base, but I already dropped a gameplay on him. It's not a bad jump shot. It's a little bit different. It looks weird, but it's actually very smooth still. Russ dribble style is very solid. Luka escape is good. Pippen behind the back is fine, but not great. Brunson's drag back is also nice, and he's an unbelievable defender. He's got the same fade as Dr. J, Rudy Gay, guys like that. He just does everything well. Exceptional shooting guard, one of the best cards in the game. And then the best card in the drop is a no-brainer. It is obviously Shaquille O'Neal. 99 stats basically across the board. Every single key Hall of Fame badge except for shooting badges, and 2K changed his jumper. Chris Bosh base, which is pretty good, with Franz upper, which is super fast. Darius Garland dribble style even. Steph's behind the back, because why not? I mean, he is going to be glitchy. I think he's better than KP realistically. I haven't used him yet as I record this, although I might have a gameplay out on him by the time y'all see this video. And I think there's a possibility that he's definitely a very viable option or not, I say very viable. I think there's a possibility he's the best card in the game. Honestly. Do I think he'll be the best card in the game? I'd still lean MJ. But number 2, probably. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button.